Hi plums, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking to you about the book of feminism while I create an editorial makeup look. Hope you guys like it. So take your makeup out and let's get ready together. So I'm gonna start with my Makeup Forever Water Blend Foundation. This one is in shade R250, and you can either apply this with a wet beauty blender or simply with a brush. In this case, I'm going to be using this powder brush, but it's a bit more compressed because I have two. I'm going to be showing you the other one in a little bit because I'm going to be using it to apply powder foundation and the powder. So, you know, I was reading the book about feminism and it really got to me because a lot of the things the author said were actually true. For example, it said that women are more dominant than men, which is why men started creating this whole movement against women so that they could be the dominant gender. What he means by that is that they started calling women who are delicate, feminine, putting them on a pedestal just so that women would believe it and women would be under the rape and women would be under men's control. But if you see, men have been able to do everything before marriage. Women have to marry pure. Now this subject is not too much for, you know, underaged people, but that's the only thing I'm gonna say about that. Now I'm gonna be taking my J&K concealer in shade 01. So you guys already know how to apply this. And I'm also gonna be putting a little bit on my eyes over here because the makeup is pretty intense. So we want it to last longer. So after men created this whole angelical concept of woman of course wanted to keep on being considered that way. Therefore, woman being more emotional, they had a reputation to stand for. This was really only men controlling women. A few years go by and women decide to rebel. And I quote because, like the author says, which I found very intriguing and very true, they're not really rebelling against men per se. They're rebelling against themselves. Women have stopped being feminine, soft, emotional. They're starting to become strong, grudgy, cold, just like men. So are they really trying to give power to women, or are they trying for women to become more like men, which is quite the opposite of being a woman? I mean, I think that you can be soft, but you can still be strong. That you can be feminine, but you can still have power. But most of the women fighting for women's rights are women that are simply strong, that just simply want power, that simply want control. They are women that want to become more like men. Then I'm gonna be taking my powder foundation by Pali Maquillaje in shade 01. I take my loose powder brush and I'm going to start applying that all over my face. And this whole revolution of men and women being equal was started by men. Why? Well, simply because men were sick of living with one woman. Of course, this is all what the author says. Everything does kind of make sense if you think about it. So now they want to start this whole revolution for women to become more liberal. So they start making women think that they can be just like men. But men really wanted to take advantage of this situation. So the moment that women start thinking that they can be just like men is when they start to rebel and trying to become just like men. Okay, I think that women and men have the same rights and they're both allowed to do whatever they want with their life. But it's not about a competition. I mean, physiologically speaking, men and women cannot be the same. They will never be the same. There's a difference between equality and equity. What we really are looking for here is for equity. I mean, men are naturally stronger due to them possessing more muscle mass. Women are naturally more emotional due to our neurology. Therefore, men and women will never be the same. But this is something that a lot of women and a lot of men are not understanding. Then I move on to my Dior powder in shade 020. I'm not the type of person to apply much powder because I feel it makes you look a little bit powdery. But I just apply it on my T-zone to get rid of like the extra shine. And then voila. Up next, I'm gonna be taking my blush by Dior in shade 849. So I take a little bit, tap off the excess, and I put it in the apples of my cheekbones. So applying blush is very particular for different kinds of shape of the face. In my case, my face is kind of like a heart, so I just apply it on the apples. But I highly recommend you guys to look for an article on where to apply blush on your cheeks because every single face shape varies. And then I take my Tarte Pro Glow to Go, and I'm gonna be taking this second shade right here, which is in shade Burst. Take my highlighter brush, I'm going to apply this. So I find it so funny, the topics I've been talking about lately, because they're kind of controversial. But what's a world without a little bit of spice? Am I right? And I mean, somebody needs to talk about this. We should not be afraid to use our voice and stand up for what we believe in. In my case right now, it's a more conscientious topic just to make women understand that we're all powerful enough the way we are. We don't need to prove anything to anybody. What we do have to do is be more in touch with ourselves and use that to our advantage. I mean, men can naturally be dominated by women. I'm not talking about one species controlling the other or one gender controlling the other. I'm saying that with the right words, with the right attitude, and with the right way of being, you can actually get whatever you want from men. Just be smart about it. I hope no men are watching this. Then I'm gonna be taking my brow powder by Pali Maquillaje in shade Chocolate. And I take my eyeliner brush to apply it. So I take a little bit too, and I tap off the excess. What I'm gonna be doing here is just filling out those blank spaces because I want my brows to look as natural as possible. But this brow powder is so good because it looks kind of like microblading. It looks very natural. Now I want to go back to our DNA and how our bodies are built. Naturally, just like men and women are different, some women are different and some men are different. So these rules don't apply to everybody, obviously, but they do apply to most of the gender. And there's another thing, like there's no such thing as gender roles. Women can be the working parent or men can be the stay-at-home parent. Thankfully nowadays, more women and more men are becoming more open to all of this. Yes, women are naturally more nurturing. But then in some cases, it's the dad. So I'm gonna be taking my Saharan palette by Juvia's Place. And I'm gonna be taking this shade right here, which is called the Gatsina. So I take my eyeshadow brush a little bit and I tap off the excess because I don't know if you guys have used Juvia's Place palettes, but they have so much pigment. They are absolutely gorgeous. And let me tell you, this is actually a Black-owned brand, which I find very admiring. I would like to dedicate another episode to talk about that because in the past the makeup industry didn't believe that Black women could own a makeup brand, but it was Iman, the supermodel that was married to David Bowie, the one that started creating foundation for darker skin colors. She would go to auditions, she would go to photo shoots, and they would never have her shade of foundation. It would always have to mix and match and blend and everything, but her face would always look gray, that's what she said. And then that was until she decided to create her own makeup brand. And right after that, a lot of strong women followed. Aka, one of them, Juvia's Place. So a big shout out to Juvia for creating some of the most amazing eyeshadow palettes. I am obsessed with all of your makeup. We're gonna put this all over the eyelid because what we're going to be creating is gonna be sort of kind of artsy. I just really hope it turns out because you know how so many women are just so talented in creating these luscious artsy makeup. Okay, I'll try. So let's see how it turns out. What are some of your rules? The Book of Feminism. I love makeup. That's one of my rules of the Book of Feminism. Makeup, power, softness, to where you want to be. Because unfortunately, my friends, in this superficial world that we live in, the way you look is the way they treat you. Then I'm gonna be going to the Berries by Juvia's Place, and I'm gonna be taking this top shade over here. I'm so scared. And I'm gonna be taking this small eyeliner brush. I'm gonna be taking a bit, and I'm gonna be applying that on my eyes. By the way, I don't mean that you have to wear makeup every day. It just looks nice when you do. I don't wear makeup every day. No way. And I'm gonna start applying it here on the inside. I just want to create a line up to where I'm gonna apply it, and then I'm gonna be having to use the eyeshadow brush. We're gonna fill all of this out. Then I take a bit more and I'm going to be applying this on the bottom, create kind of like a winged eyeliner. And then I go to the bottom of my eyelashes and I'm gonna apply some more there and kind of connect it with the top winged eyeliner. And then I move on to the other eye to create the same pattern. This is a very editorial makeup look, I feel. This is something I would definitely see in magazines. I'm gonna be taking my setting spray and my eyeshadow brush, and I'm gonna be putting that on the eyeshadow so that it looks much more pigmented. I'm a little bit scared. So when you apply setting spray on your brush and then you put it on the eyeshadow, it definitely looks much more pigmented. Especially if it's like a shimmery shade, it's gonna look much more shimmery and kind of give it that little bit of wet effect, which I think is so sexy. Because that's what feminism is all about, feeling empowered and sexy. Which I repeat, you do not have to wear sexy clothes or makeup to feel sexy. It's all in the mind. And then I am going to use that same eyeshadow brush and go over the bottom part because I want it to look more shimmery and a bit stronger. And then last but not least, I'm gonna be taking that small eyeliner brush and I'm gonna be going over it so that I can create the winged eyeliner. Do this. Ooh, see how it starts looking so much more glittery? Love it. I am not the queen of winged eyeliners, to be honest, but I am trying to get better at it. And then if you want this look to look more editorial, add a little bit of gloss in the end. But I only recommend this for you to do it only if you're gonna be taking pictures at home or at a photo shoot. Because if you legit leave the lip gloss on all day, it's gonna start like creating that kind of like line separations of the eyeshadow that does not look pretty. Okay, I wanna believe I'm done, but I'm gonna be taking that wet eyeshadow brush and going a little bit through this darker red. Just apply this shade on the inner corner of my eye to make it a bit more intense. Ooh la la, les amis, I'm loving it. Then to almost finish this look, I'm gonna be using my Sumptuous Extreme Volume Mascara by Estee Lauder in shade Extremely Black. We're gonna be doing twirlies and I'm going to be doing this off camera. So you guys know me, and I never really do apply mascara on the bottom lashes, but in this case, it was a must. Because since I applied product on the bottom lashes too, then it just needed to look a bit more uniform. And so the final two steps is that I'm gonna be taking this L'Oreal lip liner, which is in shade Je ne sais pas. Just kidding, by that I mean, I don't know what shade it is. I honestly don't know the shade because it's so small and definitely need to get a new one. So therefore I applied a very, very little. And then I'm gonna be taking this My Revolution lip gloss, which is so glossy and beautiful. It literally looks like a lipstick on a lip gloss. I apply that and voila, fabulous. Hope you guys liked this look. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe to my channel and tell me what you thought about it. See you guys again next week on another tutorial of the Human Rights Porcelain Plum. Just kidding. See ya.